Hi, I'm Brad Bassett, Application Engineer with AEE Solar.
Hi, I'm Sandra Herrera with OutBack Power, Application Engineer Manager.
I've invited Sandra down here today to show us the new ICS PLUS system that they have. Sandra, what do we have here? We have a combiner box, it looks like.
Yeah, so this is our combiner box and rapid shutdown and arc fault detector all in one.
Nice. Does it come with the switch and the cable glands?
Yeah, so you have the cable glands right here. This will be for your PV positive and PV negative. And right here you see the switch right on the combiner box.
So where can you mount this? Can you mount it different tilt angles? I know the previous combiners have been rated down to 3 and 12 roof. Is this similar?
Absolutely. So what we did with this combiner box is understanding the limitations of the previous product. Now we actually can mount this on a flat roof. So literally it can go horizontal or vertical, or even as extreme as going underneath the modules, if that's what you wanted to do.
So you could mount it under the modules and have the switch facing outward where you could get to it.
That's correct. Absolutely.
Well, a little more in there than a normal combiner box. Looks like you have pretty simple your array inputs into the fuse holders and negative bar.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you have the 6 strings here, fuse holders rated for 1,000 volts. Then you have your PV negative, arc fault detection, and the rapid shutdown, all built into the one box.
Nice. Why fuses instead of breakers?
So first, they're 1,000 volts, and as you know, 1,000 volts fuses are not the easiest thing to find, but also we have a new UL requirement that requires to be bidirectional. So this is the easiest, cost-efficient way for us to offer the new UL requirement using fuses.
I see. For rapid shutdown, are there other parts of the system that are needed?
Right, so this is going to be at the array, this is going to be at the roof, and then we move on to the actual rapid shutdown. And this will be at the meter or wherever the inspector requires the rapid shutdown, as well as the control. So this device will actually provide power to the rapid shutdown and the combiner box for it to actually operate.
Do you mount this in the FlexWare system?
So we actually designed these to all fit inside the Flex Power system. So this particular product here, if you notice these screws, will actually match up to a panel mount. So this is exactly the same distance, so we'll take the same knockout space of a panel mounted breaker, and it will allow you with a third place here so you can move it up or down. Now, the idea of the design of this product is not just to be used with the OutBack equipment, because this rapid shutdown system can actually be used with third-party equipment, inverters as well as other charge controllers. So yes, it was designed to go inside the Flex Power one, but it can go into any other system.
Okay, and is there a power supply to this?
Part of the power supply is actually here. So these connectors here will actually connect to battery voltage,
okay.
48 volts. So the first 4 connectors here, you have positive and negative, and from here will provide power up to the rapid shutdown. So the wire will go here to here, and then from here will daisy chain to the actual combiner box. So the power will be shared along the way of the system.
What do you do when you need more than one combiner box? Do you have to have more of the other components also?
So the ICS PLUS system can handle up to 6 combiner boxes. So I can have one of the rapid shutdown controlling up to 6 of the combiner boxes. So I simply order more of the combiner boxes as I need to, and they will all be operated out of the single rapid shutdown. Now, once you get beyond the 6 combiner boxes, then you do have to start over.
Does the arc fault is it required to be in each of the combiner boxes, or is that a redundancy?
Well, this is a really good question, Brad, because arc fault is required in certain jurisdictions in the U.S. and OutBack is a manufacturer of products for all over the world. So not everywhere you have the requirement of arc fault. And then you also have situations where the product itself, be an inverter or a charge controller, might have a built-in arc fault. So we give you the option of the buying the ICS Plus with or without. So you can still get the rapid shutdown in the combiner box, but you don't have to get the arc fault detection built in.
Ah, I see. And what is this device?
Okay, so this is a remote operated breaker, and this will be between the PV, the array, and the charge controller. It's also controlled by the rapid shutdown monitoring. So when the event or someone manually turns the rapid shutdown, then this will also disconnect the array at the inverter system, as well as at the array with a combiner.
And that's because the charge controller will actually keep that circuit above the shutdown voltage for a little while longer than is required. Right?
That is correct. So with this, we actually comply with NEC 690.12, where we need to shut down and provide the voltage at the charge controller.
And this is 75 amps?
Yes.
So that'll handle most arrays that would go into any charge controller.
Most array, absolutely, because the overcurrent protection device is in here. Right? So the fuses are the overcurrent protection. This is simply a switch or disconnect, really not intended as an overcurrent protection device.
Mm-hmm. And this would, as a panel mount, and could potentially be mounted right next to this.
Exactly. Again, the same idea, intended to fit into the OutBack Flex Power system, but also can be used for third-party inverters or charge controllers.
How do you wire these all together?
Right, so again, the combiner box goes at the array level. So you have, this is going to be on the roof somewhere where the array is. And the rapid shutdown is going to be by the meter, or depending on what the inspector is requiring where the rapid shutdown goes. And then the remote operator breaker and the control will be inside of the Flex Power.
So do you use wire between this control and the combiner box and the shutdown box in the same conduit as your conductors, or do you have to have a separate?
Right, so the communication wire should come out of the different conductors. So if I can point out to you here on this side of the combiner box, we intended this for be current carrying conductors, and then in a separate, much smaller conduit for the communications.
So the communication should be in its own conduit.
We recommend that.
Mm-hmm. And is it small wire, I assume?
Yeah, so it can handle from a number 16 to a 22.
So Sandra, OutBack says this is a whole system. Is it all one UL listed system?
That's a great question, Brad. One of the reasons why OutBack took so long to come out with this product is because we wanted to make sure that it was UL listed as a system, PV rapid shutdown system, so we can actually make life easier for our customers when they're getting inspected, because all of these components are listed as a system, the PV RSS.
So there's a lot of parts to order here. Can you simplify that somewhat?
Yes, actually we have put packages together so that you can order all this as one part number for the different combinations. So if you need one combiner box all the way to 6, you can order them. Also, if you're ordering later and you need to add additional components, we'll also have the part numbers for each individual component.
And one last question. When you get a rapid shutdown, or when somebody triggers a rapid shutdown, do you have to go back up on the roof to reset it?
No, actually you don't. If you have to reset, and remember this rapid shutdown is going to be by the meter, you can actually reset it from this switch. You don't have to go back up to the roof.
Oh yeah. So how do you reset the system if there's an arc fault?
So to reset the system, you can actually do it directly from this switch right here. And remember, this switch is installed by the meter. So the customer can just simply reset the arc fault from here. The customer doesn't have to go up to the roof.
Oh, good. Unless there's an actual arc fault, in which case he has to find it.
Well, absolutely.